Hey everyone, welcome back. I want to talk about the end game in Path of Exile 2. Now, let's be real. Path of Exile 2 is an absolute gem. I'm having the time of my life. I'm loving the game, but I'm finding that when I'm doing these videos, I kind of have to apologize because I'm kind of like a hypocrite. I'm loving the game, but I'm bringing up issues. But this is the point of early access, is highlighting these concerns that we have in the game, because now's the time for grinding gear games to fix them. Not everything smells like roses in this game, and I want to talk about that in this video, and that is the end game. I just think the shift from the campaign, which is, I think everyone's enjoying the campaign, the combat, the level of difficulty, the boss fights, it just feels right. But then when you step into the end game, it just seems like the game turns on a button and it just is making the experiencing way too punishing. A lot of people are raging, a lot of people are frustrated, and this is the genesis of this video. Now, while I love the game, I think we can all agree the end game mechanics are brutally punishing right now. Brutally punishing. One death shots, on death effects, dying after killing a boss or defeating the map and not being able to retrieve your loot. The XP loss in this game, portals and maps, still too few, doesn't cover the necessary areas. Rare boss visual pop-ups in maps, in my opinion, are still too slow. These are kind of some of the issues that we're going to address in this video, and I'm going to give you some solutions later on. But at the end of the day, the good news is this is early access, and Grinding Gear Games has the opportunity to make the necessary adjustments to refine the experience. In this video, I'm going to break down the issues I just mentioned with the end game and offering some solutions that I believe Path of Exile 2 will be even better if they make these adjustments. Anyway, let's dive in. The end game is where we all strive to get to, but right now it feels overly punishing. Here are the main issues players are facing. One death and your map is gone. You spent time and resources running that map only to lose it all with a single mistake. On death effects and one-shots. Many deaths happen so fast that players don't even know what killed them. Dying after clearing a boss or rare. Imagine beating the boss but losing the chance to collect your loot because of an after-death effect. XP loss. Losing 10% XP per death from level 70 onward makes progress feel agonizingly slow. Portal placement. Even with the recent patch, portals and maps still feel too far apart, leading to frustrating backtracking. Slow identification of rare bosses and mechanics. You often have to clear most of the map just to locate the key content, which adds unnecessary grind. These issues are fixable, and I believe Grinding Gear Games can make the necessary adjustments to improve the endgame experience. Here are my suggestions. Map loss on death. Allow 6 portals per map, giving players more chances to finish without losing the entire run. To keep the challenge intact, remove map-specific mechanics upon death, like Breach or Delirium, but let rewards from monsters remain. On death effects and one-shots. Increase the time to die slightly, allowing players a chance to react and escape. Add a death recap or message showing what killed you so players can learn and adapt. Loot after boss kills. Once the boss is defeated, all on-death effects should immediately stop, ensuring players can safely collect their loot. GGG already uses a similar mechanic in Trials, where enemies despawn after the timer ends. Why not apply this to maps? XP loss is another major frustration. The 10% penalty should be moved to level 80 plus or reduced slightly. Data shows just how punishing the grind is. Only 12 players have hit level 100 in Standard League, with no one reaching level 100 in Hardcore or Hardcore SSF. Map portals are another area that needs improvements. More portals should be added to reduce backtracking and allowing smoother traversal. Backtracking often happens because bosses and rare players don't appear on the map until you've cleared large portions of it. This ties into my next suggestion. Ritual sites and other mechanics should be visible on the map from the start. This would save players from running in circles trying to locate them. Additionally, the amount of mobs required to identify rares and bosses should be slightly reduced. These tweaks would make the endgame feel more streamlined and less like a chore. These changes aren't about making the game easier. They're about making the endgame more rewarding and less frustrating. Grinding Gear Games has already shown they're listening to player feedback, and I believe they can strike the right balance between challenge and enjoyment. Now, I do want to highlight, in no way are these changes meant about making the game easier. I love the difficulty in the game. These solutions are about making the endgame more rewarding and less frustrating. I don't sense in the campaign the level of frustration that there is in the endgame. And let's face it, guys, the endgame is where most of us run and strive for. This is where the meat of the game is. This is where you get all the loot that we want, all the OP gear. This is where we spend technically most of our time. So it should be more rewarding and more fun. And Grinding Gear Games has already shown they're listening to the player feedback. And I believe they can strike the right balance between challenge and enjoyment in the end game. This is not about making the game easier. That's the last thing I am suggesting. This is about removing the no fun mechanics in the game, personally. So what do you think? Are these changes something you'd like to see in Path of Exile 2? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell for more Path of Exile 2 content. Also, join me on Twitch at SamyCaps, where we tackle this brutal but amazing endgame together. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in Raid Class. Take care. The opinions expressed in this video are mine and solely mine. Healthy debate is always encouraged. Hate is never welcomed. So get over it.